Here, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and you will have no money. Come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your earnings for that which does not satisfy? Listen carefully to me. Eat only the best. Fill yourself with only the finest. Incline your ear and come to me. Listen carefully to my life-giving, life-nourishing words. I will make with you an everlasting covenant, the same that I made with David, built on sure, solid, enduring love. Seek God while who is here to be found. Pray to the one who is close at hand. Let the wicked abandon their way of life, and the evil their way of thinking. Let them come back to God, who is merciful. Come back to our God, who is lavish with forgiveness. God's decree reminds us, my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. For as the sky soars high above earth, so the way I work surpasses the way you work, and the way I think is beyond the way you think. Just as rain and snow descend from the skies and don't go back until they've watered the earth, doing their work of making things grow and blossom, producing seed for farmers and food for the hungry, so will the words that come out of my mouth not come back empty-handed. They'll do the work I sent them to do. They'll complete the assignment I gave them. For you shall go out in joy and be led back in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall burst into song, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Instead of the thorn shall come up the cypress. Instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle. And it shall be a monument to God, living and lasting evidence of God. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. Thanks be to God.
I feel like there should be some other people up here with me. But you know, I've got a lot to pour, so whatever. Bang, bang, bang. Wait, you have to talk into it.
Oh, good. Church juice. I love church juice.
We have been talking about church juice so much, haven't we? I'm not sure why you all have this fascination and love for church juice.
There's just something about it. It's pleasant, it's inviting, it makes you feel at home.
More than actually being at home?
Not that kind of home. It's different. It's more special than being at home. It makes you feel special, but also reminds me of being a little kid and having juice after church. And someone put thought and effort and care into having something a little kid would want to drink.
I think the word for that is hospitality, creating a sense of ease and welcome and belonging. It makes you feel emotionally safe and secure.
I agree. Church juice makes you feel at home.
And it's the real deal. None of this powdered stuff at this church, so it's got to be good for you.
Well, it's probably sugar.
Well, yeah, there's sugar in there for sure, but you'll know that the biggest ingredient in here is water. And water is a powerful symbol in the church. Carly, you were our Bible study fan. Did you know that water is mentioned 722 times in the Bible?
No.
That makes sense to me. Water is vital. It is necessary for life and for growth and health. It can be a symbol of renewal and wisdom. It is really refreshing if you live in the desert, and it's part of baptism.
That's because it's a symbol of commitment and turning toward God. And it's a symbol of transformation, too. Think about how rain comes from clouds, or water can become ice. Jesus often taught at the water's edge, inviting people to wade in further. His first followers were people who spent their life on the water. Life, like water, is something you kind of have to move through. Just like you and you. You know the kind of life and renewal you can find in water.
Everywhere Jesus goes, there is water. I never thought about that.
Any mention of church juice in there?
Well, not specifically. Although wine is mentioned quite a bit in the Bible, which is kind of fermented fruit juice. And overflowing wine and overflowing water are both signs of God's promise and blessing. Heck, there's one story, Jesus takes water and makes it into wine to express that sense of hospitality and joy we're talking about.
So church juice can be good for you.
Well, sharing church juice certainly is. But it's not magic. It's not medicine. If I go into the church kitchen all by myself and drink it, it's probably not going to give me much benefit. Water will do the trick. But today, we remember the waters of your baptism. And I hope we will share church juice with the community of God's people. Who hasn't got any juice yet? Oh, it's me. And I hope that we continue to be a place where church juice is a symbol of all that is good in the journey of God's way. So, my people, glad to have you home. Whew, that's powerful stuff.